Imagine being allergic to the one substance that gives life to everything on Earth. It's not a rare food or a strange chemical. It's water. For 70% of your body, water is poison. Rain is acid. Sweat is agony. And a simple glass of water is a terrifying, dangerous paradox. A grim paradox where the source of life becomes a source of agony. It turns the simple act of washing your hands into a chemical burn. This is the excruciating reality of one of the rarest, most misunderstood medical conditions on the planet, aquagenic urticaria. We are going to tell the true story of a patient, a young woman named Katie, whose grim daily life is a continuous, agonizing struggle against hydration itself. For most of her childhood, Katie was normal. She loved swimming. She loved the rain. But when she hit puberty, everything changed. It started innocently enough, just after a normal, lukewarm shower. As soon as the towel dried her skin, an intense burning sensation began. Within minutes, her entire body was covered in tiny, angry, red hives. She looked like she'd been badly scalded. The pain was searing, like being stung by thousands of jellyfish simultaneously. The sensation wasn't just itchiness. It was deep, searing cutaneous pain that seemed to originate from beneath the skin. The hives weren't a small annoyance. They were an angry, swollen topography that took over her body, forcing her to stand perfectly still, waiting for the torture to recede. The doctors were completely confused. They suspected detergent, soap, or chlorine. But the rash and the burning always returned, regardless of the brand, temperature, or location. Then, the true terror set in. She realized it wasn't the chemicals. It was the water itself. A moment of crying over a bad day, tears caused a painful rash down her cheeks. A hot day working outside, sweat caused burning hives across her chest. A short splash in a pool caused her entire body to erupt in agony. It was not a psychological delusion. It was a physical war between her body and H2O. After years of confusion and misdiagnosis, Katie finally received the devastating official name for her suffering: aquagenic urticaria. Only a few dozen people worldwide are officially confirmed to have this condition. The problem? No one knows why it happens. The leading theory is a grim irony. It's not the water penetrating the skin that causes the reaction, but the body misinterpreting its own interaction with water. As water hits the skin, it either dissolves a toxic substance in the skin, or it changes the shape of the skin's oils, which her body then attacks as a foreign invader. It's a catastrophic miscommunication within the body's defense system. The water molecules bond with oils on the skin's surface, and the immune system mistakes the resulting chemical structure as a pathogen, a dangerous virus, triggering a massive histamine release designed to fend off an invasion that isn't even there. Essentially, Katie's own immune system sees water as an existential threat. This created the ultimate medical catch-22. Katie had to hydrate to live, but every act of hydration came with a cost. She had to shower, but showering meant 45 minutes of post-shower torture. She had to cry, but crying meant pain. The emotional toll became as grim as the physical one. The need to avoid water became a constant, suffocating fear. This wasn't just physical pain. It was profound social isolation. She couldn't walk outside if there was a chance of rain. She couldn't hug people for fear of sweat. She became completely withdrawn. Try explaining to a friend why you can't come to a pool party, or why you panic during a spontaneous rain shower, or why you're constantly taking high doses of antihistamines. The paranoia became relentless. Every weather forecast was a life or death warning. She couldn't hug people for fear of their sweat triggering a painful flare-up, leading to deep social withdrawal and clinical depression. It was more than the pain. It was the psychological terror of feeling constantly contaminated, trapped inside a bubble of forced dryness. She was completely isolated in a world made of water. The grimness intensified when it came to drinking water. She could drink water, but large amounts would cause internal agony and inflammation in her throat. She found the only way to minimize the pain was to drink highly processed liquids, soda or energy drinks, because the salts, sugars, and additives somehow buffer the water molecule's contact with her esophagus. It was a trade-off. Avoid the water pain by accepting eventual organ damage from sugar. Katie's life became a complex, painful ritual. Showers were limited to 60 seconds, endured maybe once or twice a week, followed by long, agonizing waits for the rash to subside. Every moment was planned around avoiding water exposure. The effort required just to exist became staggering. There is no permanent cure. The standard treatment is massive daily doses of antihistamines and corticosteroids, which carry severe long-term health risks, creating yet another medical trade-off. The medication itself is a grim compromise. These high doses of drugs suppress the body's natural inflammatory response, but they come with side effects like chronic fatigue and liver stress, trading short-term relief for long-term health decline. Researchers continue to search for the chemical trigger, but for now, the answer remains locked inside a few dozen tormented bodies. The story of Katie reminds us that sometimes the greatest villains in a grim medical narrative aren't viruses or tumors, but the terrifying betrayal of our own body when it turns on the most life-giving substance in the universe. Ultimately, the story of Katie and the other few dozens like her reminds us that our own biological reality can become the cruelest cage, where the most essential element of existence turns into an agent of destruction. For Katie, water isn't refreshment. It's a silent, invisible assassin.